Hi, I'm Julian, and this is the WLB Podcast.
Welcome to Season 2 of Women-Led Businesses Podcast. This season, we will be speaking to artists, painters, and creators. Each one is doing a phenomenal job with their businesses. Some are running on Instagram and some have a website of their own. Every time these guests come on board, we somehow discussed the same how Indian societies try to look down upon artists and creative careers, often thinking that if somebody is not at least an engineer or is not working for a US based company, then they're not really doing a good job in their lives. But these artists and several of them out there are thriving today. Not only are they making a living out of their art, but they're also bringing much needed joy and hope into our world. Let us encourage and support every artist out there, especially if you have one in your own family. So today, for this first episode, we have with us Lulu Nazer, who has a page called Ecstacy by Lulu on Instagram. And thank you for joining us and hope you enjoy this episode. So, just as an introduction, I would just like to introduce to my listeners, we have a very, very, very old friend of mine joining us live today. We studied together, like we were kids when we first met. So we were in Qatar, and the only school that I think is famous from Qatar. No, I think there are many schools now,
No,
but
right
that
now
time there only
there
one
are many
school.
more.
Yeah, we had like one famous school called M.E.S Indian School. It's still there, and I'm not sure when we met exactly, but I
I
think we were
think
together
maybe
since
fifth or
third.
fourth. We got
Fifth.
merged in fourth, so we've
Oh,
been together since fourth through 10th, right?
yeah. I think I remember you from only from like eighth standard onwards. Like I have memories of school
Wow.
only after eighth standard. I don't know what
Okay.
happened before that.
Just this is like invisible. The rest of the class was invisible.
No, I really don't remember what we did before it. Like I think a science exhibition was there, and that's how
We
I
were
like okay,
busy, Julian was busy nerding. So let's just put it that way.
or I think I was busy studying. Like I was just a big
Yeah.
nerd. I never.
Yes. She was the coolest nerd, I would say, in her class.
Right. Basically, I think I remember mugging up social science all the time. That's all I remember before that.
Yeah. I remember during exams, you would be like, "Man, please move away. I need to write." Like teachers would be standing right behind you,
Seriously?
and you'd be like, "Please move away. I need to write."
Oh
Yeah.
my God, such show. Okay. So, for the audience, I think we need to just introduce you first, formally at least, because
Yeah.
what I have seen you grow into is, I mean, I recently found out that you have this beautiful Instagram page filled with your
Thank you.
paintings. They are mind blowing, each one of them. Like if I love art mostly because I can't do it myself, so I respect anybody who gets their colors right also. So your my level of respect for you is way too much because those
Oh, thank
paintings are
you.
mind blowing. So
Thank you.
just
Thank you.
please introduce yourself to our listeners once.
Yeah, so my name is Lulu, and as she said, we know each other from school. And right now, why we are here, I think we are here because, as she said, my paintings and my artwork are doing well on Instagram. And yeah, so that's about me. I'm an interior designer by profession, and right now I'm doing these artworks, like commissioned works, and even otherwise, just for a hobby sake as well.
Wow.
So yeah, that's about it.
A hobby that's so cool, and I would like to see what your real work looks like. I didn't know you were an interior designer. How does
Yeah,
that go
I
like?
did my. It was actually, I would say, it was a big twist after school.
Uh-huh.
So the thing is, our our family is very much into academics. Like they want kids to achieve big names like doctors,
Mm-hmm.
engineers, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you remember, like in school, if anybody asks you, you'll be like, yeah, I want to be a doctor, I want to be that, this.
Of
So
course.
nobody would say I want to be a designer or those
Mm.
kind of stuff, at least in that point of time, right?
Correct, correct. Yeah.
So I did the same. I said I want to be a doctor, and I think I did a big mistake there. So after 12, even I was pushed into the entrance coaching thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, it was too much of a pressure for me, the coaching classes. So,
Mm.
and I used to like, even then, I used to like just draw my stress out. And my friends were like, "This is not
Mm.
a place for you. You need to do something else." And I
Mm-hmm.
had this interest in interior designing even when I was in Qatar. But we
Mm-hmm.
had this diploma option in Qatar Foundation, but not a
Mm-hmm.
proper degree.
Okay.
So I couldn't go after that. And my sister being a doctor, my family thought this was somewhat of a low profession, and it will be like a, you know,
Mhm.
it would be like a bad blotch on their status kind of stuff.
My goodness.
So yeah, and 4 months into coaching, I thought I can't do this anymore, and I dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, the next academic year, I joined my college for interior designing here in Kerala.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So that's how I did my degree. So that was like, I don't know how that happened exactly, but that's the outline of the story.
That's amazing. I mean, you taking a stand right in between, like at least it takes courage. So I myself have gone through an entire year of this entrance coaching drama, if I can, if
Yeah.
I may call it so.
Where did you do it?
Pala, brilliant Pala.
I went to the PC at
Oh
Thrissur,
my
and
God,
it
I
was
I couldn't
hell.
go there.
Yeah, like, like
My
people
brother
would
went
say,
there, so I was like, I'm
"What's the
not
big
going there.
deal?" Yeah, that's what some people would be like, "What's a big deal?" But for me, it was a big deal. Like I felt it was not being me. It's like you need to study, study, study away.
Yeah,
With
there were
those people who study right before the exam, right? You can't like sit
exactly like
an
I think
entire day.
I
Yeah.
think engineering, I have been studying like 8 subjects in 1 hour before the exam, like cram it all in and then vomit. That is all I can do. So
That's
that
good. So studying like throughout the day and then taking exams like almost 5 days a
mm,
week and everything was
yeah.
not my thing.
It is nobody's thing. It's just our unfortunate, condition, the state of our country with all of our
Yeah.
population and the low rate of acceptance. It is nobody's.
That's the main thing, the
Hobby.
low rate of acceptance.
Truly, like it's not not the right way to live.
Yeah.
To be
Even
honest.
right now, if even if you say like people have become really open,
Mm.
they're only open to certain things. Like right now, you can see this rush of coding thing happening
Mm.
during like the pandemic. But I don't know. That's just another form of the engineering and doctor thing, right? It's
Mm.
just
Yeah,
another
yeah.
stream that the parents want the kids to do. That's it. It's
And now
not
they
about the
started
kids.
White Hat Junior for kids also. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's what. It's like, okay,
another
no,
level.
you start right now and then you break your bones. It's like,
So I mean, one thing
yeah,
I remember, like one thing what you mentioned is right. In our time, even though it's not long ago, like just
yeah,
say in 2000s, also we did not have a lot of options in our minds, as in we were
no,
not aware ki okay, this is also an option of
exactly.
as a career, as a profession. Like people need not all be science or I don't know why even today India
People
looks
never
down upon
explored
art.
more options, I think. Like, they didn't want to explore more options, I would say.
Mm.
Maybe there was, like, I mean, we see a lot of professionals right now, right? And
Mm.
who are not like engineers or doctors. So they
Mm.
did have options back then, but no one was like into exploring it or learning what else is out there.
Mm. So, do you think the condition is improving now, or do people like in your
Uh,
cousins or nieces or nephews, anybody that you know is having a
I
better
would
condition in
say,
school?
I would say they're still only improving, right? Like at least they're considering other things, but not arts. That's
Mm.
not an option even now. Like, but
Mm.
yeah, like comparatively to those times, right now, throughout. the country, I would say the condition has improved a lot, right? There are a lot of people encouraging their kids to do arts or follow their passion, as they put it right now. I think the
Mm-hmm.
condition has definitely improved. I had
But
this one student.
mm-hmm.
I remember she's a Qatari, and I remember she said like she wants to do science, but her parents wants her to do arts because yeah, I'm like I'm sorry, what did you say? And she's like, yeah, it's a big problem. I don't want to do arts. It's too tough for me. And I'm like, and you want to do science? And she's like, yeah.
That's
And your parents want you to do.
outlier.
I'm like, you're talking about every Indian kid's dream. Do you know that? She's like, maybe. So there are
Mm.
definitely like some people
Outliers.
who have a big change of mind right now.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. So when you did interior designing as a in your job, how does your job look like? What is a day job and this? Like, how do you manage these two things together? Like, how do you find the time? Basically,
Actually,
that's what I'm trying to understand.
uh, okay, so I was initially like I started painting for like a real a real purpose only when I was in college. Okay, so we had this
Mm-hmm.
exhibition, and
Mm-hmm.
in our interior design exhibition, we can make anything that can go inside a house or outside the house. So
Okay.
I thought the easiest thing was to paint, and
Mhm.
that's how I actually started painting. So in
Nice.
our field, yeah, in our field of interior design, it's basically about art and color and the coordination of
Mm-hmm.
such things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bit related to art, and I only did my interior design like as a job. I only did it for 1 year, and
Mm-hmm.
then later on, I did my job as an art instructor in Qatar. So
Oh,
right now, yeah, right now I'm just doing art on my own. I've resigned the other job and I'm back to doing
nice.
my art like for right now. Yep.
So
Because
full
I
fledged.
just yeah, I would say because after the pandemic started, I didn't really look for a job as such, and so I just thought I'll just uh, get into painting. I was actually planning on an exhibition, but yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
corona happened and that exhibition thing didn't happen. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, yeah, just doing commissioned works. That's
Nice,
it.
nice. So, how was the art instructing? How was that period of time? Like, did you teach? How big was your class, and what kind of people came in?
Yeah, so that one was it was like a recreational center owned by a Qatari lady. She's an
Mm-hmm.
artist herself, and this place it taught art to like kids from 3 years old to I would say like yeah, we didn't have a limit on the age. So my smallest student was like 10 years old, and the oldest one was maybe 45 or something.
Wow.
So we had yeah, and I would say it was like we had people from all over the world in our
Mm-hmm.
center, so that was like a good experience.
Nice.
And yeah, so I was taking care of the painting and sketching department, and it was
Mm-hmm.
nice. Like I personally wouldn't say like you need to. I remember you told in the beginning that you don't know a thing about art, but I think everybody has a little bit in themselves, and it's more about how you create that aesthetic bit yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't agree to teaching art or like
Mm-hmm.
telling people like this is the way to go or this is the particular technique you need to use.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just more of a relaxation for the students and also
Mm-hmm.
learning a bit of techniques here and there. That's it.
Nice. So, I mean, I think so. I am somebody who believes that all of us being in the world we are in currently, we need a lot
Yeah,
more poetry. We need a lot more art and music
absolutely.
and all of these balancing things. And this podcast
Sure.
also, I'm trying to bring out those things that people normally don't see it as a norm. Like
Yeah.
art is should become a norm, and music and cooking and these things are actually things that keep us alive and keep us going. Like,
True.
r- I'm trying to. I mean, it might sound philosophical, but that Dead Poet Society thing, that guy was really right when he said that we live for these things, love and poetry and music and these things, and
Yeah.
everything else is just a lot of tension. So, I'm really happy to know that despite we started our journeys together, and though I took the
Yeah.
very cliche path, you have ended up in
No,
a
but
very nice.
that's what I'm not saying like, being the academic person is a wrong thing. Of course, you can
Hmm.
be academic. Maybe that's like your interest. You
Mm-hmm.
find peace or happiness in knowing more things that are scientific or technical. No, that could be your thing. I'm not saying like you need to be like passionate about something that's artistic or
Mm-hmm.
philosophical. I'm not saying that, but
Mm-hmm.
definitely what I'm saying is, if I remember I think my thought actually, it took a turn when we had a circular that came into the class, and I don't know if it was real or it was in my dream, but it read like, if you choose what you love, you're not gonna work. You're like, every
A
day
single day.
won't seem like
Mm.
work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it should be like that, be it art or academic. It should be like, it's something you love, so you do it every day and you don't feel like work.
Correct, correct. I mean, I really like the part where you said everybody has an artist in them, and I
Yeah.
think that really helps to. I think even as a relaxation or meditation, if you take up sketching or
Yeah.
drawing, like you mentioned, you drew your stress out. Like you will dance
Yeah.
out their stress or sketch out. That's really nice. I mean, I think the pandemic times, at least, this might have helped a
That's
lot
why
of.
I think lots of people came out with their drawings and work during the pandemic, right? There were like,
Mm.
I think I saw at least 100 bottle art a day, every day during the pandemic. So
Oh my god.
I think
Hmm.
everybody was doing something, or at least planting stuff and making beautiful
Mm,
pots and stuff.
mm. Ah, that's nice. That's amazing. So tell me this: when did you like decide to start Ecstasy by Lulu? How did that begin? Like when do you think it was like
Okay.
the right time to launch? And
I wasn't really looking forward to launching anything. So it was like right after my work, I quit my work as a designer, and
mm-hmm.
then I had a bit of time left, and maybe I was a bit on my, I was feeling a bit low during those times, and I just wanted to divert into something that would keep me busy. So nothing as such, like as a as a platform to sell or whatever, but I just want to, like, just draw and post it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be honest. Like, when someone tells your work is nice, it's like a pat on your back. Like, you really feel good about yourself. So maybe it was, for that good feeling of validation that I started the page. But
Mm-hmm.
then I haven't been posting regularly. But yeah, so it's like something, I was really surprised that recently, maybe last week, I just put up one of my paintings on my WhatsApp status,
Mm-hmm.
and a close aunt of mine, she was like, "Wow, who drew this?" I was like, "I did." She's like, "You drew? I mean, you drove actually? You do it?" I was like, "Yeah, I do. I do this stuff." And then that's when, so there are many people who don't know what you're doing. So
Mm-hmm.
to let people know that this is what what you're into. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how I started the page. I had
Okay.
actually started like my paintings. I've been doing commissions since college. That happened
Mm-hmm.
out of surprise, but then that stopped there. And then I moved into work, and later on is when the Ecstacy by Lulu page happened. Yeah.
So, what do you mean by commissions? Do people ask for a specific thing to be drawn, or do you what I do? I don't understand the term.
Actually, what I've done so far is I've sold paintings that I've done. Like
Mm-hmm.
a few of them I've sold in my exhibition in college,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest actually there were few friends who took the pictures of my paintings in the exhibition. So those photos got passed on, and there were people asking for those paintings. So The
Okay.
commission is actually like they could be asking you to do a particular painting for them, like custom made, I would say. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
mean by commission. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they pay you for the commissioned work, and they could either choose their piece, or we could do a painting that I already did before, a redo a piece of it in a different
Okay.
size,
Okay.
like
Okay.
whatever fits their wall. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, I don't know whether does that hamper your artist in, I mean, the artist in your like when you're drawing something, like if you're asked to do a certain thing
Yeah.
exactly, do you think that is you do you enjoy doing that, or do you enjoy doing something of your own and then putting it out there for whoever would like it?
I think when you're like, if when there are people asking you to draw a certain thing, that has this challenge to get it exactly that way, right? So
Hmm.
that's a fun bit there. And
Okay.
the other one is more challenging because you have to come up with this idea that you
Okay.
want you want your client to be mind blown. So
Hmm.
both are like two different kind of challenges, I would say,
Oh,
and I
nice.
enjoy both. Yep.
That's really nice. I mean, that's nice when you put it like that. It's that you like
Yep.
doing what they do. So,
Yeah.
tell me this: when you try to sell, like, I mean, I you just mentioned your art has been sold right since the time you were in college. So,
Yeah,
how do you
that's when I
understand
first did it. Yeah.
I mean that's awesome. Like that, I mean, getting it at that early is really great. So, how do you understand the value of this? Like, what is the how do you price something? I mean,
Uh,
sometimes art goes for millions of dollars. Sometimes
I
it doesn't.
know.
I don't understand
There's
that.
something I have no idea how to do it. I have friends who say like you are selling it way too cheap, and I have friends who say yeah, you're okay, like your pricing is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So initially, I would say the first story of the first time I sold my painting,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just put it out there, and we just had to submit our works, and there were volunteers for the exhibition. So I they asked me like if I had a price tag for it. So I told you can just put whatever you want because I had
Oh,
no idea about this.
okay.
And and there was this guy. It was like a normal, I would say, 60 by 60 centimeter painting or something.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he wanted to buy it for a really good price. And I was like, "Are you serious?" That's my question. I was like, "That's Are you serious?" And my friend is like, "Shut up." Okay. Then that's how I sold my first painting, and I was shocked because he wanted two of them at that
Oh.
price, and I'm like, "Okay, what's happening?" So I'm still clueless about how to give the exact value for my painting, but
Mm-hmm.
I managed to take it out from my effort and the time and the materials I put into it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I just get an estimate of it right now. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, I'm not sure. So, when you do, when you're cooking something, I mean, the only
Hmm.
things I have ever estimated is that, like, supposing I'm baking a cake, I would
Yeah.
evaluate all of the ingredients and their value, and then
Yeah.
add in my efforts, some for the efforts. So, I'm
Yes.
not sure if the same applies to you on the canvas. If they are asking for a bigger sized one, then the canvas costs this much, the paints cost this much. All of
Yeah.
that
It's
goes.
actually Yes, that's how I do it. But I
Okay.
would say when you're like, you can't really price an art, I would say, because it's like
Hmm.
a person's efforts, and it might not
Correct.
seem like a huge effort, but there's a lot of creativity which you can't put a price tag on. So
Exactly. I've seen.
depend.
I think I've seen a blank canvas that has been. It'll be just
Yes,
a rectangle that's
or maybe like a dot on it,
or like
or
a dot
like
on it
forward
that's sold
painting.
for millions.
Yes, yes.
I do not
I
understand that.
Okay, let me be honest. Me being an artist, I don't understand it either, and I'm like,
Thank you.
why? There's a lot of like Pollock paintings and a lot of famous artists, and they've been selling their paintings like for huge amounts, like millions and billions, and I'm like, what's happening here? I don't know how to. Maybe I could just do this and sell them, but I don't
Hmm.
get the way of it. I
Hmm.
really don't understand, I would say.
So maybe so me it's just me thinking out loud here.
Yeah.
When somebody looks at your art, it also depends on what that art brings to his mind. It could be memories of something. It could be just looking at it makes him happy or makes him sad, and then think of something that happened in his childhood or something like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So when it's somebody's feelings you're talking about, it varies. Like
Yeah.
it might like
Yeah.
somebody might be mind blown and somebody might be like really sad, and it'll bring back memories. So it could be
Yeah.
that interpretation of that, like how poems also have different interpretations. I think art also ends up becoming different.
Okay.
So I was asking this when like you mentioned in pandemic there are like a bunch of art pages coming up and everybody's trying to do some kind of the other art. Do
Yeah.
you also see competition as in I'm not sure if you can call it a competition in art, but if you had to see it like that, do you see
Hmm.
yourself, your page and your business trying to compete with others?
It's not about competition, I would feel like
Hmm.
even during even the pages that came up during the pandemic, I would say it's more about, they just wanted to uh, do things and put it out there. There was no
Hmm.
competition as such when it all began, at least.
Hmm.
And right now, I would say there are some who have left the field and then they've got back to their old routine. And
Okay.
they have some who have stuck with what they're doing right now, like they have completely, changed path. But for me,
Hmm.
I would say my page, to be honest, I haven't really, took the number or the followers thing seriously until recently. That
Hmm.
even right now, I am not really working. I would say like I'm not posting regularly, or I'm not really doing stuff that I need to do to make it like, get it running full on. So for
Hmm.
me, my page is like a little bit of expression of myself, like
Hmm.
my moods and stuff.
Hmm.
So that's what, because I enjoy doing like all kind of painting, like be it still life or landscapes and portraits. But what I enjoy most is, doing portraits that have this emotion to it.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's really evident for the audience, but for me, it always has this emotion that's going on in the background for me. And
Hmm.
yeah, somewhere I try to connect it with people who want to be addressed, whose emotions want to be addressed. That's it.
And that's a very nice way of putting it. Like I think Instagram began with such noble notions, but
Yeah.
people have turned it into
Later
like,
on, yeah,
how many followers do you have? Are you posting every day? Are you having hashtags on your
exactly.
post? It's
Mhm.
crazy.
It's it's like a race again over there.
Yeah, and I like how you've like you have it sorted in your mind at least, where when the world is entirely going in the opposite direction. That's really
Yeah,
nice.
it's I kind of like ask myself like, what am I doing? I'm supposed to do something for this, but
Hmm.
I can't really push myself to do that. So I
Hmm.
just let it be.
So, do you have any portfolio of your art created anywhere other than Instagram?
No, actually, no other websites. I have been thinking about, Behance and all those websites, but I haven't really put it up anywhere
Mm-hmm.
else. Yeah.
So most of your, I'm just curious, most of your orders come in
Yeah.
through Instagram only.
Actually, many of them are through like personal, like yeah,
Word
it's
of mouth.
mostly through my friends and families, and then right now through Instagram as well.
Oh, nice, nice. So, like do people see the work first, or they know of you as an artist, and they can ask you to do a certain thing?
Of course, they have to see my work first, because there are people always looking. Just like buying a cake or a dress or anything, you need to like know what you're going in for, right? So
Okay, okay.
mostly they just have a look, and if it's the kind of art that they want, then
Hmm.
that's how they pick, I feel. Yeah.
That's nice. So I had this friend of mine in Mumbai, and her
Hmm.
father was also a painter. So I think
Wow.
I remember him mentioning that he spent one painting of his. He had spent like almost 6 months, and he painted for 15 hours a day. Have
Yeah.
you
Wow.
like
No, I
that
haven't gone that extreme.
ever?
No, no, but no,
Mm-hmm.
I do know a lot of people who put in months of effort. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I feel like the faster I finish it, maybe I'm not really, I need to really give in more thought on my details and then, put in more effort there. But
Mm-hmm.
so far, I think the faster I finish it, the better. Otherwise, it's like after a point of time, if you're working with like more of a monochromatic colors, I feel like it gets boring at one point for me. uh, I-
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's that depends on different people. I feel like there are people who puts like almost year. I know like my friend's uh, mother-in-law. She's pretty famous. She's an artist. She does beadworks, and she puts in like a whole year into this amazing works, which are like huge, like as huge
Mm-hmm.
as a wall. So
Oh
I
my God.
I don't think, yeah, I don't think I'm that patient yet.
So, like my question was that, I mean, like for a normal painting of I
Yeah.
don't know how big that is. Like it could be as big as your laptop.
Hmm.
How long does it take to finish? Like that was my question. Um,
Okay.
do,
I would say, yeah. um,
yeah, I mean, I'm wanting to know like how much time does it take to finish one piece?
Okay, so if it's more like landscapes, and it depends on the details actually, but just to give you an estimate, if it's more like landscapes, I would take approximately 4 hours to
Mm-hmm.
4 hours to six maybe. And if it's portrait, you need to get that person to look like the real person, right? So it might take longer. But
Okay.
in A5 to A4 maybe those sizes could be done in a day.
Okay.
Just yeah.
Okay. Nice. So so if since there's like, do you have anybody else who's working on with you on the selling part, or do you do the packaging, the posting, everything yourself?
I do it. I'm just like starting out. I would say so. I'm doing it all myself right
Nice,
now.
nice.
Yeah.
So anything that you found really challenging in the very beginning when you started this off? Was it hard to find a delivery person or to get it started? Like I think shipping it for me is something I've not understood so far. Like how do people manage to do that so
Yeah,
quickly?
it's actually it's not a shipping like here as as of what I'm doing, it's
Mm-hmm.
not more like a business where you just order and then you just ship it off. So
Mm-hmm.
there's always a question of getting the right, especially if for canvases you need to get the exact size done.
Mm-hmm.
And for the place where I belong to, it's a normal, a developed village, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And here I get it done from the carpenters, and so it's like a little bit of a headache, to get the exact
Mm-hmm.
size and get it cleanly stretched, the canvas,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and getting the materials at the right time is a big issue here, I feel. But
Okay.
as you move to the town, it's pretty much fine. But I think in Kerala, you really need to like work for a while to know who's gonna do what for you, like the binding and the where the materials are gonna come in from and the shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a gamble. You ship it, you don't know if it's gonna reach safely.
Oh
So
my
you
God.
do your best. Yeah. So like you have to like really pray that every person who handles this needs to really be careful with it because we
Okay,
really
yeah.
can't promise anything. So we do our best
Mm-hmm.
at the packing bit, and then yeah, the rest
Mm-hmm.
is up to God.
Nice. So this is exactly what I feel like. For every business that starts, I
Yeah.
think getting it delivered to the customer now that we have everything being so far off, like it's no longer it's not like a lemonade stand and you sell it to the people that you meet. So it's somewhere it's like it could be across the globe. It could be
Hmm.
pan India. Like I think currently you're working pan India, right? You can ship it to
Yeah,
anywhere
yeah.
in India.
Yeah.
So this
At least
distance
that's what I'm
challenge is
hoping. So,
nice. So are you planning to expand it to across the globe, DHL services or
sure, why not? Like, if there are people who really, appreciates your work, then why not? So,
nice, nice.
yeah, I have those plans in future for sure.
So this artist friend that I mentioned, the uncle who had spent 6 months,
Hmm.
the girl my friend, I remember her carrying these paintings like they're her baby, and she used to go take Mumbai trains, and I have to deliver this
Yeah,
myself. I'm not trusting anybody.
that's true. It's actually
Mm,
very true. But there's also like what I've seen is, I while I was working back in Qatar, I
mm,
did this work for Posh, and it
mm,
was through my company
mhm,
where I worked as the art instructor. I did this Oryx, which was gonna be branded with the Posh label, so
mhm.
which was hand painted. It was like a plain white oryx, and that was gonna look like a real
Oh,
oryx with a
oh,
posh, yeah,
ha ha ha.
posh painting on both sides. And this thing, after it was worked, it was approved, it went out.
Mhm,
It's not even a case of shipping. Okay, it just had to go from like one city to like the
mhm,
showroom,
mhm, mhm.
and this thing went missing for about 2 weeks.
Oh my
No
God.
idea where it went. Yeah. So it went out from our building and it didn't reach where it had to. So we had no idea where this thing was. And
Gosh. Please tell me you found the painting.
uh, I'm hoping they did because that was one of my dearest works. But I'm hoping they did because actually it was a huge project, like especially
Mm-hmm.
with the luxury companies and all that. They have these small stuffs made for like huge commissions. So
Uh-huh.
I hope they did find it safely because I had to leave quite after that, like quite
Oh,
quickly after that. Yeah.
oh, okay, okay. So, I mean, that's really sad not knowing what happened to it.
Yeah, it was like at least the 2 3 weeks. It was like, and I actually came to know about the whole missing case after a week. So
Oh.
yeah, I hope they did find it.
Mm-hmm. Any other like for any other painting do you have like I mean like how you mentioned you connect with the paintings and the people who
Mhm.
buy it. Do
Yeah.
you I mean if you, I'm not sure if since this is a podcast, but do you can you describe anything that you actually connected to in a very deeper level, maybe how of any story behind any particular painting?
With a client.
Yeah, for a client.
Yeah. Actually, it's I would say like everybody wants this essence of like mostly when I'm doing portraits. I would say I don't have an amazing story about this, but what I'm saying is, especially when you're doing portraits, people want the essence of that person. You want like suppose
Mm-hmm.
that there's a person who, wanting a portrait of their friend.
Mm-hmm.
So what they actually want is that essence of that person to come into that painting, like that liveliness or
Mm-hmm.
that amazing personality that they have. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they want in their paintings. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I've heard my clients describe the most about their person, like, okay, this is how the person is, this is how she is, and she has these hair like flying everywhere. So I know what they're trying to describe. They're actually,
Mhm, mhm.
mesmerized by this person maybe, and they just want that essence to be captured in the painting.
Oh.
So that's what I don't really I haven't done like so many commissions which have like a deeper level of connection with the clients, but this is what I've understood so far.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I remember once we had to go to a photo studio, and the
Hmm.
photo that we had given was of a very old, like our grandparents or something, and
Yeah.
she communicated the same thing that the customers always want that the person should look like real life, and
Yeah.
it's a very old photo. It's like a 60-year-old photo, and What matters is the
Yeah,
memories that you get after seeing the photo, right?
that's what. So you want to feel that that person is right there in the room. So you have this like hype of emotions. I get it, but
Hmm.
yeah. So that's what we want from many things. Like even when we are gifting someone something, you
Hmm.
want that their happiness to like jump out of it, and
Hmm.
you want to see them, their eyes glitter to see the gift. And so it's the same emotion with I think anything that's personally
Hmm.
made for a person, right?
Hmm. So, do you have anybody in your family besides I think you mentioned your friend's mother-in-law. Besides that, do you have
Hmm.
anybody else who's guided you in this entire process of starting and continuing this work? You said you
Uh,
mentioned being full-time this, right? So, is there anybody who's to guide you on this?
Actually, I would say no because I had to
Mm-hmm.
like figure my way, own way.
Hmm.
Because I think the rest of the family, there are like I have cousins who are into art, like who paint or draw, but none of them have chosen this path. So
Hmm.
the entire process has been like I've been doing things myself and also figuring out things my own. Yes, my
Hmm.
friends and everyone have been definitely helpful, but
Hmm.
yeah, I think you can't really figure out a way to be a successful artist anywhere
Hmm.
in the world. You
Hmm.
just either you crack it or you don't. So
Mm-hmm. So, do you find any like Facebook groups or some kind of clubs where there are other artists and where you can actually understand like how do I price my work, or how do I do this in a different way, or I don't know how artists
mhm,
like you know your challenges. Maybe do you
yeah.
have you met this online, like any Facebook group or any?
I don't have like connections with particular groups. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know if they exist. But yes, there have been lots of fellow artists on Instagram and Facebook, and also from my college, who
Mm-hmm.
have helped me a lot, like with the pricing and also me. When I started out, I didn't know that you had to use oil to really, dilute the oil things. I thought
Mm-hmm.
you just try to scrub it and make it thinner. That's honestly
Mm-hmm.
what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So such things about the basic techniques and stuff. There'll be a lot of fellow artists who's helped me with that. So
Oh,
no
okay.
groups in particular, I would say.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I was just asking because if in case there is anybody who's listening and also wants to do the same, if
Mhm.
they, if there's something that you would want to tell them, like, there might be, there are actually a lot of people, like you mentioned, there are people
Yeah.
who draw very well, but they might not really think their,
Yes.
work is worth anything. They're like, I'm doing
I
this for
think
fun.
if for me, I would say if you don't feel like your art is not enough, you're not an artist. I would say because uh,
Okay.
everybody, if you're creating a piece, you always feel like, is this good enough? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know who's like very confident about their work. I don't know anyone like that personally.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own questions in mind like about their own work. And if you are into like something like this, and if you want to be guided, I would say uh, there are a lot of people online, but I don't know a particular platform where you can just go and seek help. But I would
Mm-hmm.
say there are a lot of people like us, like a lot of us who wants to, like who want to grow and also help grow. So I think we got each other's back, I would say, because
Mm-hmm.
even though I'll like very honestly, even though the it might look like something, you're doing something you enjoy. There are a lot of people who want to monetize it. That's like their uh, only focus, I would say. That's like
Mm-hmm.
their that's what they want mainly out of the whole painting. So they give like there actually there's I wouldn't mention the name, but there are artists um, who would like give big philosophy about their art, like how they come up with works,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't have that heart who would help others with it, or like they're not really putting out their real faces out there. So
Mm-hmm.
when you meet people online, be it artists or any, like whatever your field is,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to ask a question, you want to know things, just ask, and you can know what you can know if you can trust this person or not with the next question they give you. Like either
Mm-hmm.
it's like a complete ignorance, or they're really, really, really keen on helping you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Got it. Got
I don't, yeah, personally, I don't know any groups, I would say.
it. Mm-hmm. So, does your family support this idea now, or are they?
They're still somewhere in the middle, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they like that, especially that since after I started posting works online, there have been a lot of relatives and friends of
Mm-hmm.
my family who's,
Mm-hmm.
who's saying that okay, she did the right thing by not going in for the MBBS and then doing what she likes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my parents are coming around.
Yeah, that's success.
Yeah, that's actually that's the kind of success I was looking for, and yeah, I think it's around the
Mm.
corner.
Nice, nice. I'm rooting for you, and I'm really glad you've
Thank you.
started this.
Thank you.
So keep going. I would love, I mean, love to see a lot of these posts coming up. But I know, but keep it real. Keep it. You don't need to go into that rabbit hole of let's do this
Yes,
for hashtags and
yes,
followers. That's something that
yes.
I should be learning, and every lot of people should be learning on how to use social media the right way. Thank you for doing this, and thank you
Thank you.
so much for agreeing to be on this podcast.
Okay.
I will be
It
sharing
was
links of.
entirely my pleasure, I would say, and I'm so happy. Like, I think we're this is kind of like a catching up as well, right? So, I'm
Yes,
really
yes.
happy I
After
did this.
so many years. When did we
Yes.
last meet? 2011,
Oh,
2010?
yes. No,
10 years
29.
ago.
You left after 10th, right? So
Yeah, so I
that's
left in
29.
2010.
Yeah, 2009.
My goodness. More than a decade. Wow.
Yes.
So wishing you all the
It's like,
best, Lulu. Thank you so much.
thank you.
And I'll
Thank you.
be
Same to you. And with the podcast, like, I wish you all the best.
thank
And
you.
I hope
I'll,
this goes great places. Yeah.
I'll be sharing the links of your page on the Spotify link as well as on YouTube. So
Okay.
please follow, subscribe, whoever is listening to this. And thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.